Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Tinubu okays 108 billion naira for states to tackle flooding and erosion. A mockery. President deserves no blame for NNPCL business decisions. Consumer Commission stakeholders join forces against pricing exploitation. Edo 2024. Obaseki threatens to stop PDP from signing peace agreement. Court grants 10 million naira bail each to 10 protesters on trial. Why banks others must join anti-terrorism battle, says NSA. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I'll start with the major headline. 1 million displaced by the Maiduguri National Calamity Dam burst. And our president has approved 108 billion for the states to combat natural disasters. So each state is entitled to 3 billion. And this is because of what's happening in Maiduguri. As we know, flooding, many states in the north are facing that, and then there are also many southern states that will be at risk of flood. They said erosion is also rampant across the country, especially in the southeast. Kaduna is also currently battling erosion. So NIMET had also predicted that there will be more rainfall and likelihood of more flooding as the year rolls to an end. So our president has approved this amount, 108 billion. The vice president also confirmed that this amount had been sent out to states. The governor of Benin State, talking to reporters, confirmed that he had received the 3 billion towards this humanitarian crisis. The vice president was saying the president is showing his commitment, to these issues of flooding and erosion and the humanitarian crisis that, was coming from this. Also, the House of Assembly, the speaker was saying that they as a house as well are going to sit down, and come up with ways that they can support the various states at this time.
All right. Another story?
Okay, yes. So I have the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted 10 million bail to each of the 10 suspects arrested over the last and bad governance. Justice Emeka Nwite granted them bail yesterday. They were charged by the Inspector General of Police with treason, publicly calling for military takeover, amongst others. Some of the conditions that were given by the judge was that they must produce one shorty each in like sum, while all the shorties must be residents in Abuja. Both the protester defendants and the shorties must deposit their international passports with 3 recent passport photographs. The judge restrained the defendants from further participating in any other rally within the course of this trial. He ordered that the defendants remain in custody pending when they are able to meet their bail conditions, and they have adjourned the case to September 27 to commence trial.
Okay, Honourable Minister, you have a story?
So, No, continue.
Okay, so the next story, I think PDP may not sign the peace accord, says Governor Obaseki. I think the IG can't suspend state security corps. I think, of course, there's an impending election coming up in Edo State, and as we all know, elections are always contentious in Nigeria, and even if you don't win elections, you think that you've won elections. So, obviously, there's an encouragement for all parties to sign peace accords because it is important for us to ensure that even in the aftermath of elections, people are really able to live peacefully. So General Abdulsalami Abubakar was in Edo State to ensure that all the parties sign this peace accord in the aftermath of the election. So, before the election, so that in the aftermath of the election, anyone that has any grievance can take it, of course, to court. So Governor Obaseki is slightly trepidatious about signing this peace accord because, he feels that the IG of police may be a little biased. So, that's really what the story is. So,
what's his name? Mr. David Roberts has warned the UK trade union to stay out of the Nigerian politics and the problem between Joe Ajero and the Nigerian government, he says they shouldn't endanger the prevailing cordial diplomatic relations between the UK and Britain and Nigeria. The union had come out to say the persecution of Joe Ajero, they condemned the persecution of Joe Ajero, or anybody's human rights.
Right.
But Bayo Ononuga had said he was arrested for snubbing the DSS invitation. So he is now saying, please stay out of it, and let the...
All right. Okay, so let me take the story from the National Security Advisor, NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, was saying yesterday that financial institutions should be at the forefront in the fight against terrorism financing as part of the counterterrorism efforts being done. According to him, terrorism was not just spurred by extremist ideology, but also by the financial lifeblood that enabled the terrorist groups to carry out their heinous acts. He was speaking yesterday at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, where it was the third counterterrorism seminar that was organized. And he was represented by the National Coordinator, National Counterterrorism, that's Major General Adamu Laka at the event. So obviously we know that the financial system, follow the money, you find the terrorists. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. Borno flood, 1 million persons affected, 414,000 displaced. Hunger protesters get a 100 million naira bill, barred from further demonstrations. FG to register untitled lands. Student loan beneficiaries lament delayed allowance. How government spent $50 billion excess crude funds, says NESG. Mpox, that's monkeypox outbreak, spreads to 23 states. And INEC warns against violence as police deploy 35,000 officers. Okay, which story? One story for the break.
Okay, I'll take the Mpox.
Okay.
So Nigeria has recorded 67 confirmed cases of monkeypox from 1,031 suspected cases in 23 states and the FCT. This is by the NCDC, that's Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It was disclosed that, okay, so a whole list of the states, but because of time, I'm not going to take them all. So the agency is optimizing surveillance in states to ensure accurate detection, and they're working with Port Health Authority to prevent the importation of clade 1 of Mpox into the country. The Port Health Authority is also working with border states to ensure prevention of the clade into the country. So it's just giving us the steps they've been taking, because I've been taking the story, I took a story just telling us about the numbers. The numbers are actually increasing in Nigeria, so we need to be careful. And I'm happy that they're working, with border states to prevent people coming in.
When I came in, they took my number. So I'm sure that was because if there was any case of
me too.
On the plane, they would just isolate all of us. I just said, hey, please, we'll go.
That's what they're doing at the airport.
Please, not monkeypox.
It's a way of...
Another story, take one more story for the break. You have a story?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Go ahead,
So, the beneficiaries of the federal government student loan scheme across the country, they are lamenting the late payments of their monthly stipend. As we all know, NELFund commenced payment of students, the loans, the school fees, and the students are saying that thank you, we are grateful that you've paid the school fees, but then we need the monthly stipend because the economy is really hard. If not, we can't survive. Yeah. A total of over 20,000 students from 6 tertiary institutions were said to have been paid the sum of 20,000 naira each as at July stipends, but till now they've not gotten their August stipends. And also, most of them that spoke on it, did that anonymously because they were scared of being victimized. Also, the heads of the institutions are pleading with the federal government to increase the 20,000 naira monthly stipends because they feel that with the economic situation and hardship in the economy, that the kids can't really cope with that 20,000. 20,000 can't do so much or enough for them. So they are pleading if there's a way they can do that. But from NELFund's end, they are saying that they've approved the monthly stipends for the month of August, and it must be paid this week to all tertiary institutions. Yes.
Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.